Good afternoon, Mandan Fire Department crews. Chief Welticall here today to talk to you a little bit about the Mandan Fire Department's strategic plan for years 2023 through 2033. So for those of you that don't know, the strategic plan is a working document that the fire department uses to help us efficiently and safely consider all potential issues that we may run into in the future. And simplified, what that is a way that we can provide some short-term and some long-term planning for our department. And we root that document in a couple of things. First, we root it in our mission statement. Our mission of the Mandan Fire Department is to serve the community by preserving life, protecting property and the environment through prevention, education, emergency medical services, rescue, and fire suppression. The second thing that is rooted in is our community risk assessment. So each year, the fire department conducts what's known as a community risk assessment. And what we're doing here during this assessment is taking data that we're constantly collecting and we're analyzing it in an effort to identify any trends or any shortfalls of the fire department or what have you. And we take all of that information and then we kind of plug it into our strategic plan and identify the needs of our fire department and its future growth. So it's a way for us to proactively kind of figure out where we're headed as a fire department. So having said that, the strategic plan has identified several goals of the fire department over the next 10 years, and I want to highlight three of them for you today. I choose these three simply because they are probably the biggest ticket items in the strategic plan. They are probably going to affect how we operate the most. And they're probably going to be the most costly. So the first one is we need to determine the long-term facility plan or the long-term facility needs of our department. One of the things the community risk assessment identified was a pretty large response area gap in the northwest section of the city. So as you guys know, the northwest section of town is pretty far away from Fire Station 1 here, and we got some really long response times up to that area. We're seeing response times of 13, 14, 15 minutes. Obviously, this poses a pretty significant risk to the community. There's a lot of different risks associated with that, and we kind of see that as the top priority on our list right now. So in being proactive, we've set that as the first goal of our strategic plan, is to identify the facility needs for the department for the next 10 years. So what we've done is given this a time frame. We're going to try to evaluate over the next year what exactly we need to build and where it needs to be located and what it needs to be staffed with and how much equipment needs to go into it to fill our needs. And that's going to be done by myself and a committee of other members of the fire department that are going to kind of analyze that and try to come up with some different plans that fit into the goals of our strategic plan. So that's probably the biggest thing that you're going to see is the potential addition of a third fire station. That third fire station, we think, would really take the weight off of Fire Station 1. It would significantly decrease those response times. So there's a lot of added benefits to it. This is obviously not something that we can just do overnight. It's something that we need to plan for, and that's why we're starting the process now. On top of that, we're going to do a year of planning, and then we would like to do 2 years of construction and then put that station online. So although this is a 10-year plan, we've set that goal to be completed in the next 3 to 4 years, hopefully. So that's our goal. The next big ticket item on our strategic plan is item number 2, and that is personnel. So you all know that we are about 9 firefighters short of where we should be right now. The NFPA recommends a certain amount of firefighters, and we're obviously below that. We're short-staffed like everybody else in the country is. So we incorporated some of the data that we've collected in the community risk assessment, among other things, and set staffing priorities as our number 2 goal in the strategic plan. And what that looks like is it's a proactive staffing plan for the next 10 years. So we don't necessarily want to correct our staffing issue that we have here and now today, because we know that staffing it's a ever-changing thing. So we want to try to get ahead of it if we can. So in that, we have decided to try to hire 3 personnel every year for the next at least 7 years. And we've obviously marched all that out with the finance folks over at the city, and how that would look and how it would affect the response of our department. But we feel that this goal is obtainable. It's probably the most appropriate for our department. It's going to be the most cost-effective manner, and it kind of supplements the first goal on our strategic plan, which is to build that 3rd fire station. So this is a goal that we want to start implementing as soon as we possibly can. We would prefer to do that this year, here in 2023, to start. And that way, when that first goal, that fire station, goes online, we already have the staff to staff it. So that's the first 2 goals that we have. The 3rd big ticket item on that strategic plan is going to be our equipment needs. And part of that, again, is going to push back to the number 1 goal on the list, which is that 3rd fire station. We're obviously going to need some apparatus to staff it. There's a lot of things at play here when it comes to equipment. When you build a fire station, it's obviously not just the station. It's the amount of money that you're going to have to stick into the equipment to be in it, to be able to adequately and effectively respond. So the 3rd goal of our strategic plan is to basically start piecemealing equipment and apparatus over the next 5 years to adequately staff Station 3. We think that right now, as it is, we could probably put a reserve apparatus up there and put some equipment in it that would get us by for the time being, but we need to be much more proactive with that. So we've set a goal of having a certain amount of equipment and a certain amount of apparatus at that station in the next 5 years. In order to facilitate that, we have convinced the city finance director to put $200,000 a year for the next 5 years in our rainy day fund account to help defer some of these costs. Hopefully, if we do this correctly, we can do it without raising the mill levy and whatnot. So that's just kind of all part of the planning process that we've went through. Again, there's many more items on this document. It's a working document. It's something that we're going to constantly tweak and make changes to. If you have input, we will obviously take that and add it to the document as well, should we see fit. But I just kind of wanted to take a minute and let you know what the strategic plan is, where it comes from, and what we're using it for. So I will shoot it to you all in an email here shortly, and if you have any questions, please see me. Thank you.